Hi, this is Dan, and welcome back to Invest Rent to Own. Appreciate you watching this video today. Encourage you to subscribe to us on YouTube and on our website as well to get all the free products and access to as much information and training as you can. I'd like to talk today about why is rent to own better than renting. And so let's begin with some comparison. I've used this strategy of rent to own now for over 10 years, and it's been great for all the returns that we've got. So let's begin with some comparisons of why rent to own is better than renting. Here you see a comparison of a fictitious deal. I've done many deals like this, so it's not like out of the realm of the impossible. On the left hand side, you see that there's the deposit and down payment. This particular deal, we're asking $1,000 for the deposit, $1,000 a month for rent. You have a vacancy factor, usually planning of 10%. Insurance that's involved, repairs. I usually budget about 50 a month. Management, 10% rent collected. And so you see rental wise that we would get $9,300 and in additional years, 8,300. The difference there is the deposit up front. Rent to own, it can be a little different. I usually don't collect the deposit because I collect the down payment instead. And I don't make that refundable in any way whatsoever. The only way that they get a credit on that is if they purchase the house later. So in this case, this is a 2-year lease purchase where they would rent the house for $1,100 a month with $4,000 down and then purchase it. I don't know, a house like this might be worth $100,000, maybe $150,000, something like that. So you typically are able to charge more than the standard rent for a rent to own. So I've got that evidence there of $100 a month more. Vacancy is less of a factor because you've got a longer term lease. I usually do 2-year lease options, so I don't have a vacancy factor at all. Insurance, I also, when I can, make the tenant responsible for insurance. Sometimes I'm getting a loan on a particular property, and so that's not doable. But I've done many rent to owns where I'm not paying any insurance on the house. Some will say that's risky. I say it depends on how much you have invested. Several homes that I buy are in the $20,000 to $40,000 range, and I'm at the point that if I lose those houses, it's just a loss of an investment. It's not as big a deal because I've got several houses. And in those cases, they're paying off my investment within the first 2 or 3 years. And so I don't think it's all that much of a risk on just not having insurance for 2 or 3 years at that time. Repairs wise, I make my tenants responsible for repairs. And then management, I'm able to manage them myself. I've got over 100 units that I manage, even not living in the same state that I own them in. So you see the summaries, it's huge. You're making so much more. Year one, you're making almost double of what you would otherwise on rental. And in future years, because of all these additional factors, you're making almost 60% more than you typically would. That's the game changer. That's what I want to try and get across to you. So here's an example of a 2-year rent-to-own deal that I have done. This is just within the last month or so. I'm buying the house for $181,600. I've got contract on it to for $5,000 down, $2,000 a month for 2 years, and then they'll purchase it for $245,000. This spreadsheet I've used it many times. I built it. It's a product that you can get free if you'll subscribe to our channel. On the left-hand side, you see the capital gain portion of it. So there's almost 62,000 in capital gain. In the middle is the investment summary of how much you're putting in and what the returns are cash flow wise. On the right, you see that is the cash flow portion, both monthly and annually. And then at the very bottom, right below that I've circled there, that's what the 2-year return on investment looks like. So that's more or less the rents plus the capital gains divided by two as an annualized 89%. Not too shabby, I'd say. So I hope I've given you some examples here of why you need to do rent to own. You ultimately make more money. There's longer term leases, which makes it easier to manage. There's less hassle, again, easier to manage. And you're ultimately able to manage more deals. Doing more deals means more money, means more passive income, means more freedom for you. So I hope that you enjoyed this video here today. If you're interested, please subscribe and sign up, and we'll get you involved in future things that we have planned. Thanks for watching again today.